Hey, I'm Tim and this is my channel, 40 Times Around. Today we're going to do a review of the Basilisk jacket and pants from Mosko Moto. For those of you who aren't familiar with Mosko Moto, they're a company based out of White Salmon, Washington. And I actually found them because I was looking for some soft luggage, which I currently have on my bike. I am still testing that out before I do a full review on that, but check back on that soon. So I've had this jacket pants set up for just about a little more than a month now, so I've really had a chance to put it through its paces. I've ridden in some rain, some hot weather, some real cold weather, unfortunately. You know, a little bit of off-road, a little bit of on-road, just a lot of different circumstances over that month. I've covered a couple thousand miles in that month with this jacket and pants. So I really feel like I got a pretty good grasp on my opinion of it and what I think of it, and we're going to go over some of the features too. We're going to talk about all of that right after this. So right out of the gate, this jacket is absolutely aimed at the off-road market. This is more for adventure touring, off-road, big off-road trips, things like that. It is meant to be worn with separate body armor. Now there's some pros and cons to that, but if you're in the dirt a lot more, I'd say there's more pros than there are cons. Now this is a new switch for me. Now before this I was using integrated armor integrated into the jacket. So this is a new thing that I'm kind of testing out and seeing how this works for me touring and doing a lot of really long days in the saddle and a pretty good mix of pavement and dirt. Now before we jump too much further into this, I do have to say, full disclosure, Mosko Moto sent me this stuff to test out. They did not pay me for this. They're not telling me what to say. So I've done my best to find room for improvement. So before I get into my opinion of this jacket and what I like about it and what I don't like about it, I want to go over the features real quick. And one of the things that definitely appealed to me about this jacket and pants setup is it's waterproof, breathable, and it's an alternative to Gortex. See, to me, Gortex, it's winter riding clothes. I don't like wearing Gortex when it's hot. It doesn't breathe well. So what they're using in the Basilisk is what's called event technology. Now, I'm not going to get too much into the science of this. Mosko Moto actually has a really great video. Pete from Mosko explains the difference between event technology and Gore-Tex. Now, they're both waterproof. They're both breathable. I have found, though, with the Basilisk, it's definitely more breathable. So I'm feeling like I'm leaning towards the event is definitely better than Gore-Tex. It is absolutely waterproof. I rode in it in the rain with this thing, and I'm talking like a full-on downpour for a while, and nothing came through. I didn't get any moisture on the inside of the jacket, including through the zippers and everything else. So definitely is waterproof. I have tested that. So the price of these two items, the jacket, it's not cheap. It's coming in at $600. That is definitely on the higher end of the scale, especially considering it doesn't have armor in it, but there is a ton of technology packed into this that I'm going to get into in a few minutes and tell you why I think it is actually worth the money. Now the pants are coming in at just about $500. So on the high abrasion areas, meaning your knees, your shoulders, elbows, upper back, that is going to be a highly abrasion resistant material called super fabric. Basically it's little ceramic platelets sewn into the 600D base. The zippers are water repellent YKK. I will say they are a little bit stiff at first, but after some use they do soften up. They definitely feel like durable zippers, and I'm not too concerned about breaking one of these anytime soon. Inside the zippers are an internal gusset which keeps any leaks that get through the zipper from getting to your body, so that's pretty neat. Now on the jacket you have two outside pockets, two inside pockets, 6 vents, and it comes in 2 color options. I opted for the green. I kind of like it. It's a pretty cool color. I think they did a really good job with the style on this. And there's a lot of just clean lines. It's a very simplified jacket, very understated. You could totally wear this into a restaurant and not feel like you were standing out, like looked like you were dressed like an astronaut. As far as the pants, those have 2 pockets, 2 knee vents, 2 thigh vents, and 2 exhaust vents. Now these thigh vents are absolutely huge and let plenty of air through. Inside the jacket is what's called this dirt skirt. It's a weather seal essentially. Now it can be cinched around your waist on a really cold day and keep any kind of draft from getting up your jacket. That has definitely come in handy in the last few weeks as winter is kind of setting in on me. Obviously not today, it's pretty hot out here today, but I'm pretty far down south into Florida, and a few weeks ago I was up in the Appalachian Mountains as fall was in full swing and it was quite cold up there. Now on the back of the jacket are these Velcro adjustment straps. Like I said, it's meant to be worn with separate body armor. So this is going to pull nice and tight around that. It allows you to get the jacket on while it's loose, tighten it up once it's on. Also, it's great for layering. If you're throwing on an extra sweatshirt underneath this or a couple of layers, it's pretty easy to just expand this out and also keep everything nice and tight to your body. A few more things on the pants before I give you my full-blown opinion on these. The legs, the bottom of the legs have what's called a calf expansion, which are zippers that add 2 inches to the length, changing it from a 32 to a 34 length. Now, I didn't need to use this, and even when I'm sitting down, they're still long enough, but you could, in other words, just extend the length of these without having to bring them to a tailor. If you happen to, when you're sitting down, say your bottom of your pants is lifting up, you could undo the zipper when you're sitting down, drop the bottom of the pant down, and then when you get off the bike, if you don't want them all baggy like that, you can just zip them right back up. So those are kind of the features. Now let's go over what I think about this jacket and then the pants. So as far as the jacket goes, the first thing I will say is right out of the box, it's incredibly stiff to wear. So it does take a bit of breaking in, which I actually take as a sign that it's probably pretty durable and well built and will last a while. It's a stiff jacket. Even around the collar, it might kind of bother you at first. It does soften up. I won't say fairly quickly, but it does soften up. Like I said, the zippers were pretty stiff, but those also softened up. Now, when I first got this jacket, because of how I have my mail forwarded to me, I had it sent to a friend of mine, Dave's house, and we were kind of looking at it together, and we were thinking, it would be nice to see like an ice tag on the sleeve, where you could have maybe emergency contacts, any kind of health info. The only thing I was thinking about after the fact is that this jacket isn't meant to be worn 100% of the time, so I don't know that that's the best option, but for a jacket like this, I wouldn't mind seeing a safety feature like that. Because even if you have it stuffed away, you could have that tag sticking out somewhere. I absolutely love the ventilation on this jacket, and it is super breathable. Even just loosening this up a little bit around your wrist, you can get a really good airflow just going right through your whole body. The pockets are good. I like that it's not just jam-packed with pockets, and it's a very understated look, like I said. Okay, so one thing I would also like to see is that around the collar here, so I like that it's a nice high collar, higher than some other jackets I've had, but because it's waterproof and because I'm not using a separate rain layer, I kind of wish that they could integrate some kind of hood in the collar so that if it does start to rain, I can flip that up under my helmet and it just kind of keeps the rain from going down the back of my jacket. So before I had this jacket, my last jacket was not waterproof, so I had a separate rain layer that had a hood on it. So I mean, that's kind of a pain, right? It's a huge convenience to have waterproof riding gear that isn't super hot. But the thing with the separate rain gear is that it did have a hood, so I would jump off the bike, throw it on, put the hood on, put the helmet on over the hood, and I would be completely protected from getting any rain down my back. I think, one of the things I like the absolute most about it is I think they really nailed the style on this jacket. I love the colors, I like the cut of it, and it's just kind of, it really looks a lot like a jacket I would go to REI and buy from, say, Patagonia or North Face or something like that. So it suits my personal style, and I really like the way that it looks. I think they did a lot of nice detailing, and even the logo is pretty subtle. It's not, just emblazoned with Mosko Moto all over it. Oh, one more thing. So the zippers, they do have a little pocket for the zipper here to keep it from flapping around. You do have to make sure that that's really up in there pretty good, like that, because if not, you'll be riding along and you'll think that something's loose on your bike because you'll be hearing that. But if you get it up in there, pretty much quiets that down pretty well. Yeah, overall it's a pricey jacket. It's not cheap, especially considering you still have to buy separate armor with it. But I totally think it's worth it. Like I said, it's definitely durable. It's comfortable. It looks great if you are into looking good on your bike. I think this is a pretty good option. And it's just a simple jacket. It's not overly engineered. It's not too much jacket for any given day, but it's also good enough to get you through the long haul, right? Like, you're not going to be out on a 95-degree day thinking, wow, this jacket is way too heavy and whatever. And also, you're not going to be out on a cold day thinking, it's not doing the trick, or, I mean, of course, layering is key with this jacket. That's what's really going to get you through all your seasons with it. So that's the jacket. So now let's talk about these pants. Now, they're very comfortable. I think they got a good fit for someone my size. I'm about 160, 6'1", and they fit me very well. I didn't need to extend the bottom of the pants, but it's nice that that's there. If I was bulking up, like putting a lot of clothes on underneath them on a really cold day, I have a feeling that the pants would be lifting up when I bent my knees, so I think I will use that at some point. I really, really love the ventilation. This huge back vent it's huge. It's massive. Lets a ton of airflow through. One of the first things I noticed about the pockets on this is that they're a lot smaller than the last pair of pants I had, which at first was a bit disappointing. I kind of got used to it, and it's enough space for my wallet and the few little things that I do have to put in there. Because sometimes I don't have the jacket on, so all my important stuff is in those pockets. It's actually enough room, and it keeps me from overstuffing them. It keeps me from putting so much crap in there that if I fall off my bike, it's just going to be a thing that's going to end up hurting me. So it's actually simplified what I'm carrying on my body, which is kind of cool. Again, with the logos, very understated. I like that. Yeah, they are comfortable. And I like the way they look, and that's about it. They're waterproof. Like I said, I did test that out quite thoroughly. They're breathable, and they're good riding pants. What else can I say? Pants are kind of pants. If they fit, I think that's probably the most important thing. Being waterproof, definitely a bonus, and being waterproof without overheating you, that's double bonus points for that one. Yeah, that's the pants. So that is it for today. That's my review and kind of breakdown of the Basilisk pants and jacket. I am definitely happy with them overall, and I would thoroughly recommend them. I will leave a link in the description box down below to Mosko's website if you guys want to check it out. I really like this company because they're just kind of at the cutting edge of the industry, and they're really making waves, and I really like that about a company that can come into a well-established industry and kind of shake things up and get people to look at things slightly differently. The separate body armor concept, that's new for me, coming from a primarily street touring background. I'm getting more and more into off-road stuff. I'm going to be doing some really big off-road expeditions in the next couple of years. So it's cool to see someone kind of opening people's eyes to some different ways of doing things, so the separate armor thing, I think that's really cool that they're kind of bringing that to the table for everybody that's into adventure touring. Yeah, they put a lot of thought into their gear. They ride a lot themselves, and so this is, these are people that are out here doing this stuff, designing it, and they know what's going to be needed and what works and what doesn't work, and that's really cool. So again, huge shout out to Mosko for hooking me up with this gear and letting me test this stuff out. I do have some luggage right now. I'm testing out the panniers. I'll be getting a few other little things too on there. Very happy with the panniers, but like I said, I'm still kind of learning my way around them and kind of figuring out how they work for me. I want to make sure that I get enough time with them before I do a review video on them, but that should be coming out fairly soon because I've had those for about a week and a half now, 2 weeks. like I said, it's kind of weird living on the road full time, how I get my mail forwarded to me. It sometimes takes a while to get things. So I will be talking more about their luggage setup. They have some pretty cool, innovative design features on those panniers, which are really working well for me so far. But anyways, that is it for me today. Like I said, link in the description below for Mosko's website. If you guys got something out of this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you haven't already. That way you don't miss anything whenever I post something new about motorcycles, camping, travel, and adventure. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Ride safe.